Okay, last week was about my meltdown. This week is about solutions and systems. So first we're gonna talk skincare and then fitness, food, some other just like lifestyle stuff, and then the systems that I'm using to kind of put it all together. Just so you guys have an idea of where I'm at with my face, I have never had Botox or fillers or anything like that. I think the most like hardcore thing I've ever had on my face is like just like a deep facial. I also want you to know I'm not anti-Botox. For me, I'm just kind of like, I don't think I've done any of the proper steps of skincare before I even get there. I want to give myself a year of everything that I'm going to talk about today. And then if like at the end of the year, I'm just like, girl, you need Botox, then I'm going to get Botox. And then also, I guess I'm also just like not a fan of the fact that there's just gonna be stuff in my face that I have to constantly like redo. Like for me, like in an ideal world, like what if I just have like top-notch skincare, which will include like, you know, at some point like microneedling and like crazy facials and stuff like that. But like if like at 40 something I want a facelift, like I'm just gonna get a facelift. I'm not trying to go somewhere every 3 months to like get filled in. It's like, let's just like take care of this once and for all. Like, so I'm not putting myself on a pedestal, okay? I will look like Kris Jenner in my 70s. So with that said, let's start with some of the more high-end products I use, and then we'll go to like medium-ish and low, and I'll tell you kind of the steps in which I do everything. Like, so last year I went to get a really deep facial, and my esthetician introduced me to Jan Marini products, and ever since then I have been hooked, okay? And don't kill me for saying this, but if you're not using like medical grade skincare, you're not gonna see like the biggest difference in your face. And she's the first one that introduced me to like acids in my face to like exfoliate. Here's a photo of me when I started her products. I feel like I look like a totally different person. I did stop using the products last year. I was just so stressed. I just completely abandoned myself and all my routines. So now that I'm back, I'm adding 1 or 2 more things, and they're all Jan Marini skincare. So we'll start with number 1. Because my skin doesn't have like a ton of wrinkles and I don't have a ton of acne, I'm starting with a retinol, and this is Jan Marini's Retinol Plus. I started using it a week or 2 ago, and I started with 2 days a week because they tell you to kind of like pace it. This week is my first week using it 3 times a week, and it's really just a pea size, like you don't use that much. And I've noticed that I am going through a bit of like a purging phase, they call it, where I have like a little bit of peeling, nothing too crazy, and just like tingling when it's on there. But every morning I do wake up and I feel like my skin tone is way more even. And yeah, like my forehead is like legit less wrinkly. Like it feels way tighter here. This is $110. You have to do the sandwich method when you do retinol. So I do this moisturizer I got like off Amazon. I think this was like 10 bucks. So I'll do moisturize, retinol, moisturize. Twice a week I do the Skinzyme face masks, also from Jan Marini. You guys, I swear I put it on and I leave it on for like 10-15 minutes and I take it off. Literally look like a dewy little donut. You're just like, whoa. My skin is also super soft after it, and if you use it like consecutively, this is probably what I've used the most consistently. I don't know, you just have a really nice soft skin tone. I feel like it keeps your face like nice and hydrated. I don't know if you could see that little bounce there. Yeah, I swear by this. This is like $100-ish, and by the way, I get all this on Derm Street because they give you like 30% off. So on the days where I'm not using retinol, I am doing a vitamin C in the morning. This shit is expensive. This is $130 to $40, but I'm telling you that if I had to pick one product from all of these, it would be this one. Well, it would be the retinol and this, because these are like, you see results. Like, and at night, I'll do the glycolic serum. This is about 45 bucks, and this is by Face Reality. This is like a very beginner step duo. When I went to my esthetician and saw her first last year, she recommended these 2, and just with this sunscreen and moisturizer, my face looked like that first photo. So like, these are big winners. So usually I do this in the morning. I do moisturizer, vitamin C, and then I put on sunscreen. And then at night I do moisturizer and glycolic serum. And lastly, this Jan Marini eye cream. So this I just started using last week, and so far I haven't seen like the hugest results, I'm not gonna lie, but I do see a lot less like puffiness here. So I do think it's hydrating in the right areas. I believe this was like 80 to 100 bucks. So, and then the last product I use is a mineral-based tinted moisturizer. So as you guys know, I work in a kitchen, or I'm at the gym, or I'm just at home. So like I like a little tint in my moisturizer. This is SPF 50. It's by La Roche Posay. I think this was about $17, but I like really love this. So that is my skincare. I will let you know how it goes. I'll say this, I've been struggling to sleep a little bit, but like I really am not hating the texture of my face. I'm kind of loving it. Lastly, there are a few things that I swear by. They give me so much results, a lot of bang for my buck that are more like practices. And so the first thing under this bucket will be gua sha. So definitely like on the lower end of the price point with products, but I basically have this jade gua sha. I think you guys have seen me do this, but I just use a little bit of castor oil. And before I start my skincare in the morning, I wash my face, I put on a little bit of oil, and I gua sha. So this really helps with puffiness, it helps with sculpting, and it drains just a lot of that fluid, that lymphatic fluid from your face. So huge game changer. I never not gua sha. I'm a huge fan of lymphatic drainage, so put a pin on this because I have more to say on this in just a bit. Now if you're like, girl, that's like so much shit to remember, how do you remember? I don't, okay, I don't. I have this here on my wall. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so you can see it better, but I just made a Google Doc with the days of the week and then the things I have to do on the side of them, and then a checkbox in each thing. Monday I know what I'm doing, Tuesday I know what I'm doing, and I just check it off, and the satisfaction I feel after I check off something truly needs to be studied because I get off, okay, on checking something off a list. So this is what works for me. I'll also show you the one that I have upstairs because I have a nighttime routine. Now this is gonna be a first for this channel, but we're gonna go upstairs to my room. I don't know how clean my room is. Look, I still have Christmas lights up. Whatever. Welcome to where all the magic happens. And by magic, I mean 10 hours of sleep, because also skincare. Okay, but I brought you up here because right on my bedstand, I have yet another checklist. I have a morning checklist and an evening checklist. Let's start with the evening one because it's kind of on the same topic of what we just talked about. So similar to gua sha, Monday through Friday, I give myself a belly lymphatic massage, self-lymphatic massage. I'm gonna put like a few examples of what that looks like up here. Detox by Rebecca is a really good girl on Instagram to follow for how to do this yourself. But I'm telling you guys, like, a beauty secret that I feel like most people think is bullshit. I'm here to tell you it is not bullshit. I have worked out forever, okay? I've had a decently clean diet forever. When I started lymphatic drainage, I for sure lost some weight, but right when I started doing it, my muscles that have always been there just started to pop out. Here's a picture of when I was doing lymphatic drainage every single day. Yes, I did have a little bit less body fat there, but I'm not far from that now, and it's because I started lymphatic drainage again, and I do it with just, again, castor oil. Castor oil, I don't know what the fuck is in castor oil, but girl, I'll drink this shit. It's like $9 on Amazon. I use it for my hair, my face, gua sha, and my lymphatic drainage. On that note, it's important to take days off because you also don't want to be putting so much pressure on your like lymph and your intestines to like be pushing and flushing everything out. And also if you're like healthy and you're mobile and you're having fiber and water and all that stuff, like you don't need that much stimulation all the time. But if you feel like just like there's a bit of a knot in your stomach or just like this tightness in your stomach because you're struggling to go to the bathroom, or maybe your diet isn't super clean, like this like helps you kind of move things along. With that said, 2 days a week I do arm lymphatic drainage, and then for my legs and butt I use a wood tool because your girl's got some ass, you know, I need a little bit of help. So yeah, that is my evening kind of beauty routine. I'm adding that to the list here because lymphatic drainage helps if you're working out a lot, helps with soreness, helps with digestion, it helps with sleep, mood, relaxation. It's one of those things that like you're getting so much out of it when you do. And then so now let's go back to the list. Also things I'm putting on this list is I meditate for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Meditation, not to be dramatic, has changed my entire life. It is a superpower. I always say that prayer is asking for something and meditation is listening for the answer. I am a huge believer that we have everything that we need, that we know everything. We are the way, the truth, and the light. And meditation is a way to channel into that power. So I do that every single morning. And then every other day I write because I'm a writer. And it's good for you to kind of word vomit on something. And in this like digital world, it's really important to like still write things down, like put pen and paper. Not that writing on like a laptop is bad, but I do think it does something to you when you're like writing. So that's my morning routine. And last on the list, I have this on there as a general thing that I need to do, but I sometimes do it in the morning, sometimes do it at night, is I read a chapter from a book each night. This kind of keeps me off my phone for a while, gets me tired. And yeah, this book in particular, When Things Fall Apart, it sounds really depressing, is such a good book, and I reread it every year because it reminds me how important meditation is. And it also just kind of puts me in a good mindset. Like, it just reminds me how powerful we are when we just kind of like sit back instead of react to everything, right? We kind of just like, that's how I'm staying on track with that. Okay, we're wrapping up in my office / closet / laundry room. LA living. I'll wrap up with food and fitness, and I'll keep this short and sweet because I feel like if you've been following me for a while, you know my principles around fitness, and they're very boring. But I always say boring workouts and boring routines and boring food equals sexy. On my dry erase board, I have a checklist of things that I'm doing right now. And the only reason why I'm doing these things now is because I am trying to lose fat. Gained a bunch of weight last year. I had a concussion. I got in a relationship, the holidays. I'm trying to lose about 15 pounds. Like, I'm not trying to be Bella Hadid. I'm not trying to be a Kardashian. So with that said, this is why my schedule is this. I do 3 strength training sessions a week. I usually do an upper body, a lower body, and then a full body. And then each of these sessions always have at least 5 minutes of core. So a lot of planks, a lot of weighted core. But yeah, planks are, we hate planks, but planks are the best, especially as we're getting older. Super important for posture, great for any low back pain. And also, if you grew up in the 90s like I did and your mom was always like, suck your stomach in, and you have like a rib flare, planks. Twice a week, I go on runs. I am not a fast runner. Right now, I'm still trying to get under a 9-minute mile because I'm running a little heavy. So if you have run ever, you understand that like some days you get in it and you're like, I feel great. And you just like run the whole time. Most days aren't like that though. Most days I run and walk. If I'm feeling really energetic, I will do a run, walk, sprint kind of loop. It's really good for cardiovascular health. And if you're a girl and you live in LA, you never know when you'll have to run from someone or something. So I do think it's really important to like run. It's my favorite form of cardio. Sometimes I'll go and take a SoulCycle class, but I do that twice a week. And then once a week, I do a low intensity exercise. This is my favorite, okay? Bang for your buck. This is going under this list, okay? I will do one of 2 things. Go on a very long walk, meaning 3 to 5 miles. I think on Tuesday I did 4 miles. Or if I'm at the gym, you've probably seen me post about it if you follow me on Instagram. It's called the 12-3-30. But putting yourself in a low intensity cardiovascular zone, this puts your body in a fat burning mode. It's nice to give your body a good metabolic change through the week. So I'm not always doing cardio. I'm not always doing low intensity, and I am building muscle at the same time. I'm not asking my heart to work super hard all the time to raise my cortisol. Over time, if you're thinking about longevity, working out at the end of the day is stressful on your body, but it's a balance to where you're not like totally burning out and then creating a metabolic state in your body that only allows you to like perform or burn fat if it's like at the highest level, right? Like you want to kind of be able to adjust and adapt. But this brings me to my next point. 4 days a week, I do intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting does 3 really great things. A, gets you on a schedule. Your body loves routine and a schedule. If your body works like a machine and it gets the same nutrients at the same time-ish every day, you work out at the same time-ish every day, you stop eating, go to sleep at the same time-ish every day, again, ish, doesn't have to be perfect, you're more than likely to put yourself in a place where metabolically you're using the food that you're eating, right, as energy, and you're not just storing it. So that's the first benefit of it. Number 2, it helps with digestion. Your body needs time to like really push things through. Fasting is just a tool I use that if I'm like, okay, cool, let me give my digestive system a bit of a break. I'm just going to drink water for the next blank amount of hours. Usually that's all it needs. And then number 3, it does help support fat loss. There's a window in which your body starts turning your stored fat into energy, and the idea is just to get yourself in that mode. If you're a woman, please do not do this every single day. You have to do it in relation to your cycles. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, read Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz. We are not little men, okay? Men can fast all the time and be totally fine. We cannot do that. So with that said, my digestive system, totally on point. I feel like it even affects your skin. It affects your sleep. And again, this doesn't mean I'm skipping meals. I've been tracking all my macros, and you can see that I eat every day between 1,600 to 1,900 calories a day. So I'm not starving myself, and fasting does not mean that you skip a meal. And then just to wrap this up, I'm eating a minimum of 120 to 140 grams of protein every single day. Yes, it's hard. It's hard, but it makes a huge difference. And number 2, I'm hitting 25 grams of fiber a day. I'm putting that on the list. If you want less belly bloat, if you want a flat tummy, you need to be prioritizing fiber. Point blank, period. Like if you're watching this and you're like, how can I do the least and feel better about myself? I would say walk 10K steps a day, prioritize low intensity workouts, fast 4 times a week, and make sure you're hitting your fiber every day. You can thank me later. You can thank me later. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Tell me what you think. Do you want to know more about anything? If you're feeling like you're a little down in the dumps, you just need some systems and some routines to get you back in it, girl. So that's what I'm doing. Let me know what you're doing. So yeah, that's my little reset. I'll see you guys next week.